Senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano. So, Judge, walk us through the steps. How can Governor Hochul do this?
Well, first, we start with the New York State Constitution that says if a public official is charged with a crime, credibly charged with a crime, the mayor can remove that official from office, even though the official is presumed innocent and hasn't yet, or maybe never, been convicted.
Okay.
Then we go to the New York City Charter, which effectively says the same thing. So for her to do it, she must first hold a public hearing at which, are you ready for this? She is both the prosecutor and the judge. This will be a very different hearing from that to which we've all become accustomed in the modern era, where the prosecutor presents the case, the defendant defends himself with lawyers, and the judge is the neutral. She is both prosecutor and judge. She personally interrogates the mayor. That's at least the procedures articulated in the New York State Constitution. Now, they may, by consent, modify these procedures, allow her to be the judge, hire a prosecutor from the Attorney General's office, and allow the mayor to defend himself with his own lawyers. She doesn't have to be decided. She doesn't have to be convinced that he's guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. She just has to be convinced that in this environment, with these allegations against him, with this apparent quid pro quo with the feds, with his 4 senior deputy mayors resigning, the last shoe may drop if the police commissioner resigns, although she was just hired and there's no indication she's going to do so. Can Eric Adams run the city government? That's the question she has to answer.
All right, so the governor would basically need to tell the mayor what he's charged with, and then Adams, the mayor, would get a chance to respond. She would be the judge and jury, as you said.
Correct.
But if the feds are dropping the charges, is that enough of a defense, or does that even trigger it, or the fact that he once was charged?
So that is a great question. The feds are asking a federal judge to dismiss the indictment without prejudice, meaning they could reinstitute it again at some time in the future. Not because their case against him is weak, but because of the timing, because President Trump's efforts to rid New York City of unlawful aliens at this moment in time requires a mayor who will cooperate with ICE. The feds have been very candid. That's the reason for dismissing it. The question is, will the feds share their evidence with Governor Hochul? Will the feds share their evidence with DA Bragg if he decides to prosecute the mayor under the state charges for bribery? According to the feds, the case for bribery against the mayor is very strong. I can take it with a little grain of salt because the feds always say their cases, their cases are strong. The mayor is innocent until proven guilty. But in this hearing that we talked about a few minutes ago, she doesn't have to be satisfied beyond a reasonable doubt that he committed the crime. She just has to be satisfied that he cannot effectively be the mayor of New York.
God, I love New York politics already.
So I want to ask you about this because we talked about it yesterday, so I just want to follow up. I want to move on to Doge. So we spoke about yesterday that a federal judge was deciding on a holiday, which was very rare, of course, to block Doge from assessing the government systems and firing all those federal employees. Now, the judge decided to refuse to issue a ruling. What do we make of this?
Well, she led everybody in the courtroom to believe that she will not interfere with what Doge is doing. But she basically said, give me 24 hours to write my opinion. That 24 hours ends around lunchtime today. So she probably will come out with a written opinion. She does a great service to all of us, to the litigants involved, to the appellate court, to the president, to those of us who monitor these things when she reduces to writing what her decision is. Now, there was no testimony, so we still don't know exactly what Doge is doing. What buttons are they pressing on the Treasury Department? Pointing to, I'm not going to touch it. I'm pointing to Mark's computer. What buttons are they pressing on the Treasury Department's computers that the bureaucrats that work there find so offensive? None of that has been aired in a hearing. She's just deciding basic principles of law.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.